extract two rules from here. So B minus P, this is the formula, B minus P. If higher customer value, so it B minus P, if you keep it wider, lower price, higher customer value, it would result, which means higher market share. Customer value means the customers are loyal, they will come back. So that is strategy works to creating or growing market share. If P minus C profit, which results in shareholders' value, create high profitability. Now, one fundamental thing which has changed in the older business model and new business model, that until I would say 20, 30, 40 years ago, the focus was profit maximization. That's the purpose of every business, profit maximization or wealth maximization. Today is all about value maximization, not profit maximization. They want to invest into the value, not only customers, stakeholders, employees also. Employees who work for good businesses, they are getting a lot of value and they are creating a lot of value. So I'll explain that later. Let's focus on this here. So let me bring you or introduce you to another major strategy thing, very simple. Michael Porter is the Harvard professor who is still active, and he basically one of the genius who introduced this strategy thing in the corporate arena. So he wrote first book on strategy somewhere like 1980s, 83, and so corporate businesses started to look at strategy somewhere like 70 when the Japanese started to invade the North American market with electronics and automotive. American businesses woke up and they said we need to do some strategy. Before that, strategy was only considered as a war strategy. But after 70s, 80s, it expanded further. So Michael Porter is one of the genius who wrote a lot of books and introduced. He introduced one of the very compelling idea. He said, look, to be successful into the business, you need to choose one of the two options. Either take a cost leadership position or the product leadership focus or differentiation. So two examples which I could tell you right now. Think of Walmart. Walmart is the cost leadership position. Everyday low prices. They boldly claim you would not find prices better than us anywhere. Cost leadership. That's their model. Sony used to be in this category, Sony Electronics. Now Apple is there. So they say, we are not claiming lower prices, but we have the best products. And the people who love products, they will go for that. This idea was very successful in 80s and 90s. And many businesses said, this is a good way. So businesses started to take positions. We are going McDonald's cost leadership, right? Walmart cost leadership. A lot of other businesses cost leadership. And many businesses like Apple, differentiation or product leadership. Then you need to really differentiate in terms of product. So keep this idea in mind and let's analyze our case study. That what is happening with these 3-4 brands we talked about. So we talked about Hyundai, it should be BMW. It's an old slide, but it should be BMW. Kia and Hummer, just for example. So in the broad market, cost leadership or product leadership, Hyundai has fit itself very well in the cost leadership. Today Hyundai Sonata especially is a very reliable product, good price, good value. They are like Walmart, good value. Now Walmart, you cannot complain about quality. It's good, reasonable quality in Walmart, lower prices. That is what Hyundai is. Where is Kia? Sorry, where is BMW? BMW is, or Audi also, is in the differentiation, product leadership. They are not for volumes, they are not for best prices, they are for the product quality. Audi, BMW, other luxury products, they are very well fit there. Where is Kia? Kia is also in the cost leadership, but in a narrow segment. Kia is still present, Kia is still selling, but not as much volumes as Hyundai or Toyota. So now they have determined their position in a niche, that if you are really looking for a bargain, probably you should go to Kia to shop around. That is where it is. It's not directly competing with Hyundai or Sonata or anyone. It's a niche area for the bargain hunters. And then also niche area, narrow market for Hummer, luxury product. All luxury cars, luxury models are not in the mainstream. Hummer was not in the mainstream. Hummer was very specific model in a certain category, very successful. So these are the 4 positioning of products. In any case, in broad market, large market, it could be cost leadership or product leadership, or in a narrow market, a smaller segment, it could be the cost leadership or product leadership, right? So these 4 brands have well settled. Let's look one more time at this B minus C framework. So this is the scale. 110, benefit to the customers, selling price 100, cost 90. Where do we fit these different brands? So Toyota Camry are here. Their selling price 100, their benefit to the customer 110, and cost is 90. Where is Hyundai? So see, now you could see what the difference in the strategy were for Hyundai. Everything was the same, except that it created more value for customers by lowering the price. And they could increase. This is short term. This is short term, you can change, you can slide it upward or downward. Kia Optima, that's a compatible model. So Optima is very placed differently. 95 selling price, 90 is the cost, and I think below is also, you can see here, 88, 2 points higher than the profit. And look at BMW, completely different positioning. So simply by plotting these numbers on one chart, you could see the different positioning of these brands. BMW is not directly competing, but you could judge what value they are creating for customers, what value they are creating for shareholders, and how is it working. By the way, I also bought 2 more Hyundais for my wife and my other daughter, and today I'm using my 3rd BMW 3 Series. And I don't think I would change. Now, I cannot afford 5 or 7 Series, but I'm very happy with BMW. If I could, I would upgrade to 5 and 7. But I'm very happy with BMW. So this study explains you the customer value and shareholders value. What is the difference? And where it is appropriate to create more value for shareholder and more value for customers. Ultimately, all values are converted for shareholder because they are the ultimate recipient of all value of any business. And it also explains that how do you compete in a highly competitive scenario. And one very important thing, copying a strategy, copying even a successful strategy would not work. Let me give you another quick example of this mistake. Walmart is very successful. Look at Kmart. The Kmart is long established, much longer than Walmart, and has been very successful. Now, 10 years ago or 15 years ago, Kmart is still in problem, by the way. They are surviving, but not really doing as much as Walmart is doing. So at that point of time, 10, 15 years ago, Kmart thought that if we could do everything what Walmart is doing, we would be equally successful. So much so that at that time, I remember, if I enter into a Kmart store, the first thing you will see a price comparison chart, Walmart versus Kmart, because they thought it's the price. If you offer the same price or lower price, Walmart customer would come to Kmart. It didn't work. Kmart was in bankruptcy. Look at Target. Target is directly competing with Walmart and Kmart, directly, very successful. Why? Because Target did not copy Walmart model. Target came with their own differentiation. Differentiation is you're taking a position between Walmart and Macy's, for example. So it's not a fancy, high luxury departmental store. It's still a discount store, but very well positioned than Walmart. I like to go Target. I like to stay in the store longer period of time than Walmart. It's the ambience, it's the fancy environment, it's a good, neat and clean environment. That is customer value. So customer value is not about the product, customer value is about your experience. Now, very current hard debate about the Walmart and Amazon. And these are 2 different models. In fact, they should not be compared at all. But what is happening now? The trends are changing. It's not that Amazon is beating Walmart. Trends are changing. More and more people are buying online shopping. My daughters, if they have to buy anything, they will buy online. If my wife has to buy anything, she will like to go to stores. Different customer experiences, right?
So when you wrap up, if you could link this the strategic position of companies with people personal jobs, like if you want to rise in an organization, how can the strategy help you?
Yeah, okay, I'll come to that.
Okay.
So it's all about different customer experiences, and different segments have different preferences. For my wife, who is different generation, there is more value going to a store, looking at things, touching things, evaluating and then buying. There is more value. For my daughters, there is more value. Just go online, order it. Now, I'm a big fan also for Amazon. And for me, the big thing about Amazon is experience, not about the product, because their products are the same. You can buy those products from anywhere else. But it's the experience. If I want to buy a vacuum cleaner, for example, if you go there, within a minute, I have at least 100 choices available, 100 different models from different part of the world, different prices, different reviews, different ratings, different offers. That's the customer experience. I feel empowered. Now, I could do it in stores, yeah. If I go to Walmart, probably I will find 10 brands over there, or other stores I will also find some price. But Amazon is the empowerment to customer and experience. And that experience leads into customer value creation. And who will win over a period of time? Whoever create more value. And value is not static. Something which is valuable today may not be valuable tomorrow. The customers the consumers who used to go to Blockbuster, there was value at that time to go to Blockbuster store and rent the cassettes. It's no more value. That's why stores is closed. So this is also a changing perspective of the values. That over a period of time things change, and the good businesses keep close watch, and they keep changing. Now, who thought that there would be business models like Uber and Airbnb? Now, these are very well-established industries like hotel, car rental, or taxis. Nobody thought that it would be impacted by technology, but these are the new business models which are really seriously impacting these industries, right? So it's about the getting ahead of the curve in innovation, and Apple is doing a fantastic job. Between Apple and Samsung, interesting observation is that Samsung always had the competitive products, but as a follow-up. Apple launches something and next day you see Samsung product. Apple is always ahead of the curve. Samsung is behind the curve, but equally at par with technology. And that is beating Samsung in terms of global success or market share. So any questions, comment? Yeah, one more thing. So this is cost leadership model, Hyundai Sonata. BMW product differentiation. Kia Optima cost focus in a narrow segment. And where is Toyota, by the way? Toyota is in the middle of the road. Toyota is also cost leadership, good value for price, right? But also very durable, but not like BMW. It's a good value for price, and that is like Target. Target is not a very luxury departmental store, but good value, competitive prices. That is where most of the models are fitting in between the two things. Now, it's not only about the customers and shareholders only. There are a lot of stakeholders. And if you are an employee of a corporation, you are also a stakeholder, because you are receiving value and you are giving value. So customers, common stakeholders, customers, suppliers, even society is a stakeholders. And in a successful business model, you create value creation for them and they create value for you. For example, customer, when you offer a good product at a good price, customer is happy. Customer pays the price, but after paying the price, that happiness stays with the customer. Customer does not lose his happiness. He retains happiness, so he would come back. Let me take an example from an employee point of view, so you could understand better this value creation concept. So let's say, scenario one. You are a happy and loyal employee of Apple Corporation, drawing a salary of 10,000 along with usual perks. At what salary will you be willing to leave Apple to work for another mid-sized company? Just ordinary form. If they offer you more, what is your cutoff point? Anyone?
Maybe 14,000.
14,000? Nobody else is taking any offer?
Maybe 40,000.
40?
That's too much. I don't like to lose.
So why not 11?
I don't like to change jobs.
Why not 11,000? Because 11,000 is also $1,000 increase in your salary. Why not?
Not worth the inertia and the extra.
The perceived value is 10%.
So you are getting something in addition to 10,000, right?
Correct.
Right? Let me make the point very clear. You are getting something in addition to 10,000, and that additional thing is determining your cutoff point. If you say 14,000, you are getting a perceived value of 4,000. What is that? Maybe it's a good environment. It's the name of the company. It's the leadership. You like your boss. You love products. You like to tell people that you're working. All those things intangible, that's your perceived value equivalent to 4,000. That's why I say no less than 4,000. You say 40,000, that value for you is 30,000. You are extremely happy with that scenario, right? So you are getting value more than your salary. Agreed? Let's take another scenario. So you are working for a good company, drawing a salary of 10,000 along with usual perks, but you are not happy. Your relationship with your boss is ugly, and your future is uncertain. At what salary will you be willing to leave for another good company? Same? Okay.
It will not be same. You'll even
8,000.
8,000?
Anything less than 10,000.
Yeah, exactly.
Boss is
Exactly.
bad, so
leave for
So
less.
let's take that scenario.
Yeah.
You are already getting 10,000. Why would you be going for 8,000?
Because you want to get out.
Yeah, you want to get out. Why do you want to get out?
Because there's
Environment
negatives
is not good.
involved.
Environment is not good. What is the value of negative environment for you? Negative, right?
Yeah.
It's negative perceived value. I'm not happy. My boss is ugly. My future is uncertain. I'm not happy. There is a negative value. And if you say 8,000, that negative value is equivalent to 2,000 minus. Right? You can always quantify it.
that could be Apple. That could be at Apple.
That could be any company.
Boss could be a horrible boss at
Yeah,
Apple.
it depends upon your personal perceptions. It's not about the reality of your company. What do you feel? And you're right, some good companies, people are not happy because they are facing the things which create negative value for them. The point I'm trying to highlight here, that even as an employee, you create value and you receive, you give value. So what is the value you are giving back to employer? So you will say, I'm getting 10,000 salaries, I'm paying back my services equivalent to 10,000. Is that true? What do you think? You agree with that? No? What would you say?
So usually 4 or 5 times the value.
It's more than that.
You work more
It's
than
more
what
than
you
that.
get paid.
Actually,
Emotional value. is more
if
there.
you observe that, you will see that employees who are very happy, satisfied, they are overworking.
Yeah.
They are late sitters. They are burning their hours in the evening. They are sacrificing their family. They are working on the weekends. They are giving back a lot more value to their employers. Good people. But they are the same people who would not leave at 11,000. They will say 40,000 because they also feel that I'm getting a lot of value. That's the intangible part. That's exactly like customer value. This is called employee value. That you get employee value in a good environment, you receive value from your employer more than your salary. Salary is not a value. Salary is give and take. What you worked, normal hours, you got back 10,000 salary. It's over and above employee value. So when you are happy, you are creating more value for your employer, you are getting more value for your employer. If you are unhappy, you are creating negative value for your employer and also receiving negative value. Now if you think of your work environment, you could very quickly identify those people. Think of some people around you and you could immediately put them into simply by their behavior, whether they are happy or not. Some people are creating a lot of good value, some people are not creating negative value. And that is why they will say, give me half of the salary, I will leave it today. In fact, the company should fire those employees, and that is why the employer fire. Because it's obvious they are not creating value for themselves or for the company. Why should they stay at all? So next time you do any performance assessment for your people, think from this point of view, what value they are getting. Now, this is again subjective, but it's a very powerful concept to understand the value. So when I tell people, there is another very attractive quote from Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn said that do more than what you are paid for. Do more than what you are paid for. And I have 23,000 following of finance professionals. You can imagine our type of people. Some people have problem with that. Why should we do more than what we are paid for? Why should we? And the full answer is so that you would be paid more than what you do later. Right? Do more than what you are paid for so that you could be paid more than what you do in future. That's how it works. World is a cafeteria, not a restaurant. Difference is, in cafeteria you first go and buy your food, pay the price, and then eat it. In restaurant you can order it, eat it, and then pay the price. World is a cafeteria, not a restaurant. You have to go first. You have to. The people who are creating value, employees know that, and they are rewarded. They are already being rewarded, but it is the future. You need to invest yourself. So, relating to your point, first thing for you as a corporate employee is really to create value. Now, one thing I get frustrated with the people, generally there are a lot of people who think that they need to do what they are paid for. So they try to define their potential by their job. This is my job and this is what I do, this is okay. They don't realize that they are living a limited life. Every day they are passing, it's an opportunity missed. So if you think you have a lot more potential and capacity and you're at the wrong job, try to change as fast as possible, because the time you're spending is gone. It will not come back. So my advice is that even if the job is not right for you, you think this is lower than you, don't forget that you are doing another very important thing on the job, your personal development. Your personal development is your equal responsibility every day on the job. So even if job is not up to the level, keep developing yourself. You have that platform available. Because sitting at home, the people who are unfortunately unemployed, it's very difficult to keep them a high morale sitting at home or learn anything. But at work, whether it's good place or wrong place, at least you have the opportunity, you are at a platform, you could deal with other people, you could learn a lot of things, you can experiment a lot of things. So that's an opportunity which everybody should try to avail as much as possible. And in that course of development, I think you create value, and then you started to push the value creation cycle for your employer and yourself. Now, so questions, comments here? So this is the sort of summary of the employee value. What is employee value? Is the desired willingness to leave compensation. So like you said 14,000, you said 40,000, minus current compensation. That's your employee value in any case. And if it is negative, it would create a negative value. So happy employee, 15,000 minus 10,000, 5,000 value. Unhappy employee, it could be 0 or it could be negative as well. As I said, these are not the hard facts, but these are concepts, but very much applicable in real situations. So I think I would like to stop here, unless you have questions related to this or any general question I will help you with.
Well, now let's link it with the, like, our second part was to, like, how you can grow in your organization.
So, first thing to start with, which I already explained, that don't limit yourself with your job limits or job scope. And that's the biggest mistake people do, that if someone is a controller and they think, I have the caliber of a CFO, but I'm a controller, so I'm not doing, once I'm promoted as a CFO, I will do all those things. Big mistake. You need to start demonstrating that ability in the controller position. So take initiative. One thing which I practice myself, I always consider myself one level of wherever I am. I would say that if I'm controller and next level is finance director, how finance director would behave. Now be careful, don't overlap your authority. Just be careful. But see what attitude you need to demonstrate, and at least go 1 or 2 steps above the role you are holding. And that would give you very clear direction what you need to do. You need to demonstrate, you need to create a perceived value for yourself. This is related to personal branding. That many people think, I'm so capable, I'm so competent, my company is not using me. But it's your responsibility to demonstrate your brand. Create a perceived value. Even if you are very capable, people don't know about you, it's your responsibility.
Be a salesman all the time.
You have to salesperson or marketing person of your own talent. We are all entrepreneurs. We are in the business of selling our talent. Even if you are a corporate employee, but you are an entrepreneur. So entrepreneur's job is consistently looking for opportunities and selling and marketing yourself. And many people feel that personal selling, I cannot do that, this is bad, it doesn't look good. But it's inevitable in today's environment. It's highly comparative. The job tenures are reducing. And even if you are happily employed in your job, there would be a time when you would have to change. Are you ready for this? Are you prepared for this? And again, it's a different subject related to leadership. Creating a professional network outside your work, very critical. Making yourself known to people and again in a professional manner. I'm not saying that you like to sell like a retailer yourself, but just in your presence. Last 10 years of my career, I never applied for a job. Without doubt, every month I received one unsolicited recruiter call. Unsolicited. Now, doesn't mean that I was not intending. I had all the intentions that recruiter should call me because I made a very strong LinkedIn profile. And there is a lot of views. People are going there, looking at that, and they will call me. That there is a CFO opportunity. Are you interested or do you know someone? That is how I got my 3 jobs in the last 10 years. And best candidates don't apply for jobs. But you have to make yourself visible, transparent to the world. Make all your achievement known to the world, and they will find you. So it's a little overlap with the leadership and strategy, but few things which I would like to, a couple of slides in the end, I will just share with you. So I do only 2 things. strategy and leadership. And if you go to my website, yeah, so this program called the Strategic CFO Program 2018, better than executive MBA. Now, this is not just a slogan. 150 people have qualified, and this is from them. And now I could claim that you could learn more strategy in this 12 weeks program than an average executive MBA program. That's one. It's mainly for finance professionals, but like Omar is not a finance professional, he attended, find it very useful. So anywhere you're in the corporate, any function, the strategy is common. If you understand the basic strategy, and again, it starts with your conversations at work every day. Now, just assume for a moment that if you are unemployed, you are dying for an opportunity to talk to a senior executive. Give me a courtesy interview. I want to come for a 5-minute talk to you, right? Now, if you're employed, you have this opportunity at least for 8 hours every day. Talk to anyone, right? This is your opportunity to convey your brand, convey your personal brand. So the best thing to really convey your brand is not about your credentials, certificates or degrees. There are people who are Harvard graduate and they are not doing well in their career. It's about your personal brand, which the best thing to convey is demonstrate every day. And the best thing is to talk about it. When you talk about strategy, when you talk about business, and this is what I said, your one compelling conversation with your CEO or the board, demonstrating your strategy expertise, will give you more credentials than your MBA degree. Just one conversation. And based on that conversation, they made decisions to promote you or give you another role. That's opportunity you have every day for 8 hours, right? Now, how would you develop that conversation? If you have knowledge. Now, many people, even senior executives, think that they have everything on the strategy, but they never have gone through a formal strategy training. How much is there, they don't know. And that is why they cannot talk. You go through this for 12 weeks, in 12 sessions, so this closely 25, 26 hours contents. And then in addition, we create study groups, so you could talk with your peers and discuss with reference to your actual business. So that's one opportunity. Or you could read 18 books as I showed you before. That would give you the same level of knowledge and capacity. We also bring a lot of case studies. So these are the companies we cover in this program. These are short case studies, because if you go to this school, their case studies is like 40, 50 pages that even needs 2-3 hours to just read those cases. We cannot afford that. Our objective is to achieve the same level of knowledge in 12 weeks. So we bring the example from the common business model. These companies are very familiar to you. If I talk something about Apple, you immediately know what I'm talking about, right? This is part of your observation. So almost 20-25 case studies. And what I would suggest you, that if you're interested in the leadership part, then just go to the cfoacademy.org or just type Mecca CFO Academy and it would come up in Google and you could look at that site. In leadership, we cover emotional intelligence, personal branding, day-to-day things. And you are doing,
Soon I'll be doing.
you're part of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Could you go back to your slide that said what strategy is and what it is not?
I did not cover that, but I can show you.
Well, maybe we
This
can
one?
just do, yes, so making choices.
So the background of this slide is that many people, many senior executives actually would say, our strategy is to hire best people. Our strategy is to grow our revenue. Our strategy is to make profit. What else is your objective? This is a common sense. This is not a strategy. Your strategy is how to achieve those things. So just saying your targets, identifying your target is not a strategy. The strategy needs to be something different than your competitor to achieve your sales goals, profit goals, and bring the best employees from anywhere.
Measurement.
And the measurement part as well.